Hello and welcome back to the Tech Blackboard. Once again, I'm back with a lot of learning on Microsoft Azure. And today with another set of 20 latest questions, let's learn some fundamental concepts on Azure security, Azure policies, blueprints, and a lot more. The reason why I'm taking a lot of questions on Azure security and governance is that recently a big chunk of questions are coming from this section, which clearly resonates Microsoft focus on security. So let's straight away dive in and learn some new concepts today and also prepare for AZ-900. So let's begin part 19 with question number 341. It says that this question requires you that you evaluate the underlying text to determine if it's correct. So here you can see that we are given with this statement which says you use management groups to organize resources in an Azure subscription. Further, the question says that review the underlying text. Here you can see we have this underlying text. If this makes the statement correct, then in that case you have to choose no change needed, which is the very first option. Otherwise, you have to make this statement correct by selecting other three options given, which are resource groups, management groups, and administrative units. And the correct answer for this question, my friends, is option B, resource groups. So basically, you use resource groups to organize resources in an Azure subscription. And just to give you more highlights on Azure resource groups, well, Azure resources can be combined into resource groups, which acts as a logical container into which Azure resources such as web apps, database, storage accounts are deployed and managed. And please always remember, my friends, that you cannot have any Azure resource before you have a resource group. And now let's quickly jump on to the next question. It says, which of the following could require both a password and a security question for full authentication? Your options are Azure Firewall, Application Gateway, and the last one is multi-factor authentication. The correct answer for this question is option C, multi-factor authentication. What is a multi-factor authentication? Well, multi-factor authentication, also known as MFA, requires two or more elements for full authentication. And I'm pretty sure all of you must have experienced this, and you must be getting SMS or text on your mobiles to authenticate yourself while using any application. And friends, there are a lot of ways using multi-factor authentication. For example, many applications these days are also using Microsoft or Google Authenticator. And friends, in a very easy to understand language, just consider MFA or multi-factor authentication as an extra layer of authentication beyond your own passwords. And here comes question number 343. It says that you plan to deploy several Azure virtual machines and you need to control the ports that devices on the internet can use to access virtual machines. What should you use? Your options are a network security group, and then we have an Azure Active Directory, Azure Active Directory group, and the last one is Azure Key Vault. And the correct answer for this question is option A, a network security group. Now let's take few more questions on NSG or network security group, one topic from where you can surely expect some questions in AZ-900. And here comes question number 344. It says your company plans to deploy several web servers and several database servers to Azure. You need to recommend an Azure solution to limit the types of connection from the web servers to database servers. What should you include in the recommendation? Your options are Azure Service Bus, a local network gateway, a route filter, and the last option is network security groups. And yes, the correct answer is option D, network security group. See, in this question, the keywords are web servers and several database servers. So basically, you are maintaining an internal communication between your web servers and database servers. And that's why for internal communication, network security groups is the best choice. Moving on with the question number 345, it says, which of the following services would you use to filter internet traffic in your Azure virtual network? Your options are Azure Firewall, Network Security Group, or VPN Gateway. And the correct answer for this question is option B, Network Security Group. And here comes some more information on Network Security Group that allows you to filter network traffic to and from Azure resources in an Azure virtual network. An NSG can contain multiple inbound and outbound security rules that enables you to filter out traffic to and from resources by source and destination IP address, port and protocol. So friends, please note these details very carefully because Microsoft can change the question and ask the questions that are revolving around IP addresses, ports and protocols. And in that case, you now know that network security group is the option to choose on. And now let's take some questions on the other security aspects. Here comes the question number 346. It says, which of the following provides information about the planned maintenance and the changes that could affect the availability of your resources? Your options are Azure Monitor, Azure Security Center, and the last one is Azure Service Health. And the correct answer for this question is option C, Azure Service Health. And friends, Azure Service Health is a suite of experiences that provides personalized guidance and support when issues with Azure services affects you. It can notify you, help you understand the impact of issues and keep you updated as the issue is resolved. And very importantly, my friends, Azure Service Health can also help you prepare for the planned maintenance and the changes that can affect the availability of your resources. So out and out, a very important Azure service. And here comes question number 347. It says North America is represented by a single Azure region. Yes or no? And the correct answer for this question is no. And this is because North America has several Azure regions, including West US, Central US, South Central US, East US, and lastly Canada East. So that's why North America comprises of multiple Azure regions. Let's move on. Question number 348 says that Azure Web App, Azure Logic App, and Azure SQL Database are all examples of Platform as a Service or PaaS model. Yes or no? The correct answer for this question is yes. All the services given here are the example of Platform as a Service. And friends, I'm sure that all of you who are following this series from the very beginning might be feeling that some of the questions are getting repeated. Of course, I know that, and this has been deliberately planned so that all the questions, the concepts are drilled in your mind because repetition really helps you when you're giving exams to recall your answers. So that's why trust the process, my friends. With each repetition, I always try to give you a new piece of knowledge on the Azure services. And friends, so far, if you're liking our efforts and liking the content of this video, please press the like button. And with that, here comes question number 349. It says a company ABC Limited wants to execute workflows that are designed to automate business scenarios and are built from predefined logic blocks without any code. Please note without any code, very important keywords that will help us to choose the correct answer. Further, it says that which of the services is most suited. Your options are Azure Functions, Azure Logic Apps, Azure Workflows, and the last one is Azure Compute. The correct answer for this question, my friends, is option B, Azure Logic Apps. And this is the documentation where you can get started on Azure Logic Apps. And please do not get confused because the heading of this documentation says decide when to use Azure Functions. In this documentation only, when you scroll a little downwards, you will reach to this section which says Azure Logic Apps, and here you can read that logic apps are similar to the functions, and that's why I chose this documentation. I could have really taken you directly to the logic apps documentation, but I wanted you to see that Azure Logic Apps are very closely connected to Azure Functions, and that's why I chosen this documentation. Here you can read that Azure Logic Apps are similar to the functions, and it's very important, my friends, that you note that both Logic Apps and Azure Functions enable you to trigger logic based on an event. And on one side, you have Azure Functions that help you execute the code based on an event. On the other hand, you have Azure Logic Apps that execute workflows, and that was the exact ask or the need of the question. And that's why we have chosen Azure Logic Apps as the answer to this question, and the link to the referred documentation is available in the description box. Now let's move on with the question number 350. It says that you have an on-premises application that sends email notification automatically based on a rule. Now you plan to migrate the application to Azure. You need to recommend a serverless computing solution for the application. What should you include in your recommendation? Your options are Azure API, Azure Logic Apps. The third option is Azure Workflows. And lastly, we have Azure Functions. And the correct answer for this question is option B, Azure Logic Apps. And now comes question number 351, similar kind of question where we have underlined text, and in this statement which says if Microsoft plans to end the support for an Azure service that does not have a successor service, Microsoft will provide notification at least 12 months before. Now here you have to validate whether 12 months is the correct period. In case it is, then you have to choose no change needed. Otherwise, you have to choose from the options given, which are 6 months, 90 days and 30 days. The correct answer for this question is no change needed, because yes, Microsoft will give you a notification of 12 months before they terminate any Microsoft Azure service that does not have a successor service. And now let's quickly jump to the question number 352. It says, where can you obtain details about the personal data that Microsoft processes, how Microsoft processes it, and what are the purposes? Your options are Microsoft Privacy Statement. The second option is Compliance Manager. And lastly, we have Azure Service Health. And the correct answer for this question is option A, Microsoft Privacy Statement. And just as the question reads, Microsoft Privacy Statement explains what personal data Microsoft processes, how Microsoft processes it, and what are the purpose. All the details you can get in Microsoft Privacy Statement. And now comes question number 353. It says, which of the following can be used to help you enforce resource tagging so that you can manage the billing? Your options are option A, Azure Policy, option B, Azure Service Health, and lastly we have Compliance Manager. And undoubtedly the correct answer is option A, Azure Policy. And we have talked about Azure policies many times before, but here comes a quick one-liner. Azure Policy can be used to enforce tagging values and rules on Azure resources. So in case you want to enforce a policy that will ensure that all the resources that are created in your Azure subscription will always contain a set of tags, then Azure Policy can be of great help. And don't worry my friends, we have a lot of questions on Azure policies that will tell you what are the other different uses that you can use Azure Policy for. But for now, let's move on to the next question. Question number 354. It says, which of the following can be used to define a repeatable set of Azure resources that implement organizational requirements? Your options are Azure Blueprint, Azure Policy, lastly we have Azure Resource Groups. And the correct answer for this question is option A, Azure Blueprint. And for the friends who are joining us here for the first time, Azure Blueprints enable cloud architects to define a repeatable set of Azure resources that implement and adhere to the organization standards, patterns, and requirements. Azure Blueprint enables development teams to rapidly build and deploy new environments with the knowledge that they are building within organizational compliance within a set of built-in components that speed up the development and the delivery. And friends, there is a lot of confusion on Azure Blueprints. That's why I have taken a lot of questions on Azure Blueprints in the previous parts. So please make sure to watch the previous parts. There will be surely some questions on Azure Blueprints, an important Azure service, and you do not want to miss that. And now comes question number 355. It says, which of the following lets you grant users only the rights that they need to perform their jobs? Your options are Azure Policy, Compliance Manager, and the last one is Role-Based Access Control. And the correct answer for this question is option C, Role-Based Access Control. And Role-Based Access Control, or RBAC, is one very important Azure service. We will take some questions on this service in the coming parts as well. But for now, please understand that RBAC lets you grant users only the rights that they need to perform their jobs. And you know what friends, I have seen a lot of people who get confused between Azure RBAC and Azure AD, or also known as Azure Active Directory. And in case you also have the same confusion, please make sure to watch the next upcoming part where I will explain the differences between Azure AD and Azure RBAC. But for now, let's move on to the next question. Question number 356 says that you plan to deploy 20 virtual machines to an Azure environment, and you need to make sure that a virtual machine named VM1 cannot connect to the other virtual machines. And for that, VM1 must. Your options are to be deployed to a separate virtual network. The second option is run a different operating system than the other virtual machine. Third one is to be deployed to a separate resource group. And lastly, we have a two virtual interfaces. And the correct answer for this question is option A, to be deployed to a separate virtual network. And now comes question number 357. It says that you plan to deploy several Azure virtual machines. You need to ensure that the services running on the virtual machines remain available even if single data center fails. What are the two possible solutions? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Your options are deploy the virtual machines to two or more availability zones. Then we have deploy the virtual machines to two or more resource groups. Thirdly, we have deploy the virtual machines to a skill set. And the last one is deploy the virtual machines to two or more regions. And most definitely, my friends, the correct answer for this question is option A and option D. In option A, we are saying that we should deploy virtual machines to two or more availability zones. And in the option D, what we are saying is that we can deploy virtual machines to two or more Azure regions. And both of these options will serve the purpose, and our services will still be running on virtual machines even if one single data center fails, because both availability zones and regions will keep your application running even if one single data center fails. And now comes question number 358. It says, which of the following best explains cloud computing? Your options are delivery of cloud computing services over the internet. The second option is setting up your own data center. And lastly, we have scalable computing. And the correct answer for this question is option A, delivery of computing services over the internet. And now we have question number 359. It says that which of the following is not the feature of cloud computing? And your options are latest technology, a limited pool of services, flexible resources, and lastly we have economics of scale. And the correct answer, I'm sure you have guessed it, it's option B, a limited pool of services. And here comes question number 360. It says, which of the following is not a cloud computing? Your options are public cloud, scalable cloud, private cloud, and the last one is hybrid cloud. And I'm sure 100% of you have guessed the right answer, and that is option B, scalable cloud. So friends, that was all for today. If you think I'm doing a good job in bringing all these well-researched questions, their answers, and Microsoft documentation for these questions for your own validation and self-study, then please do not leave the video without pressing the like button. And honestly, my friends, it does take a lot of sincere efforts to do this analysis and bring up the latest questions with the right answers. And in case you are new here today, please do not miss to subscribe the channel and also select that all option so that you get the timely notifications of all our upcoming videos. Share our videos on your social media platforms so that other people can also learn for free, and this also helps us to grow. Any queries or doubts, maybe some question is not clear, do reach me in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, stay fit, keep learning, and thanks for watching.
If this video has added any value in your learning, a like and subscribe is highly appreciated. Share this video in your family and friends to spread and expand their learning. Your comments and feedback give me a chance to interact with you, and I look forward for them. We will meet again in our next video. Till then, stay fit, keep learning, and thanks for watching.